Hey, it looks like we're live. Here we go. Here's the flip around. Here's the switch. Now remember, I'm doing that because I want better video quality on my live streams so that I can repurpose them later. And so what that means is I've got to flip the phone around in order to accomplish that. And so this is what I'm doing. Now, I've also got my laptop queued up, I guess is the way to put it, so that I can see comments and stuff like that. Okay, so there we have that. Now, I want to kind of just check and see how I'm looking there. It looks like I'm dialed in pretty good. Let's see if we can click to expand, but still keep the muting on. Good. Now, should be able to see everything as it's happening, and so any comments that you have, I should be able to read them. Now, here's something funny. I'm giving myself a whole lot of emojis. Now, why on earth would I do that? Well, this call is about, or this broadcast is about how you can get more exposure. And so whether it's me or someone else that is putting these emojis up across the screen, it's telling the algorithm that there's something happening here. You see how that works? But that's not the hack. That's not the secret. That's not the big reveal. If you want to get more exposure, then you're going to have to do more work. If you want to get more exposure, you're going to have to do more work. But it's not just that. It's also working smarter. It's knowing how to get. If you've been paying attention over the last week or so, you know that I've been talking about an acronym, and I'm going to put it here. FLAP. And you know what? I'm going to hashtag it too, just because. There you go. That acronym stands for as much as possible from as little as possible. And at the advice of my social media strategist, I'm also going to hashtag my own name here. Now, why would I do that? Why is that important for exposure? Because the more that I hashtag my own name, the more that I kind of cheat and do like it's an SEO piece, right? The more hashtags with my name on them there are out there, the more I come to the top of the search results when somebody looks for me. And believe it or not, there's more than one Manny Wolfe out there. I can't believe it either. So all of that is pretty good. And it looks like somebody's sharing a little love there. I appreciate it. I can't actually see who it is, which is kind of weird because of the orientation of I'm looking at myself on the computer, and for some reason it's not showing me who else is on. But I want to talk about how you can get more exposure. So these two little things I've shown you here are actually important. So if you're not doing live streams, obviously you should. And on your live streams and everywhere else, you should hashtag your name. You should also understand how to repurpose your live streams, right? So every one piece of content you create can and should have multiple lives. What do I mean by that? Well, this live stream here is going to be clipped into little nuggets. It's going to then be distributed on my page. It's going to be distributed on LinkedIn. It's going to be distributed on Instagram. And it's going to be distributed on YouTube as well. So there's one piece of content that gets a lot of a life cycle out of it. Does it make sense? I hope it does. Now, there's much more than that, though. I mean, that's only going to get you so far. One of the things that you have to really think about doing is getting out and mixing with people in real life, and ideally, if you can, getting on stages or getting, like a friend of mine, Patrick Kirby, MC events for other people. Offer to do this for free. What else? Just go to events to network. And then, of course, the ultimate would be to speak at events. That would be what you'd want more than anything else. So how do we then get to speak at events? Like, that's a big kind of barrier for a lot of us, right? Well, unfortunately, there's really no shortcut. There's no hack. There's no trick, not that I know of. Now, there is a lot of hard work that you can do. And when you do that hard work, you will start getting invited to speak at some point. And so here's some of the hard work you can do. One of the things you can do is talk about your desire to speak, right? Put it out on social media, network through social media. And when you do, make it known that you'd like to speak. But you're going to have to demonstrate value. You're going to have to demonstrate expertise. You're going to have to demonstrate articulate speaker-like qualities as well. But here's the thing. It will happen if you push and persist. If you continue making this happen, it will happen. I guess that's what I want to say with that. Now, here are some other ways you can start to find speaking gigs. And by the way, before I share these with you, I want you to understand that just because you wrote a book or did something cool, you should not expect to get paid to speak right away. Just let's be realistic here. You should not expect to get paid to speak right away. I see Christy and Joe are joining us. Hi, guys. I am surprised by how many people I speak to, and I really mean this. This isn't like one of those, I speak to coaches every day who tell me, meant to just sort of inflate me and my importance. I do speak to coaches pretty much every day, and I do speak to speakers many times throughout the week. And what I can tell you is that there is an epidemic of sort of a misunderstanding of how the setup works, right? You don't just get paid to speak. It just doesn't work like that. People who pay money to speakers need things from speakers. And if you're starting out, they need things that you cannot provide. Okay, so you're not there yet, but I have good news, really good news. If you want to speak to grow your coaching business, like for instance, Joe Nicasio or Christy Hayden, both of you, and I'm sure many others here as well, would really be smarter to focus on what I call the free speaking gig path, the free path, right? What that means is, for God's sakes, go speak for free at events, but become a master of nurturing all the ROI from those events. If you speak well to the right audience, you will certainly get leads. Yeah, agreed, Joe. Joe Nicasio really summed it up there for you guys who aren't paying attention. Don't try to be a paid speaker. Be an expert who speaks. The difference is, there's a lot of differences. So one is that any paid speaking slot is going to have massive competition for it, right? Okay, so there's that. So especially if you're starting out, you have to think that you're competing with people who are more experienced than you. Now, it's not to say you can't do it, because new people come into the paid speaking realm every year. But it's hard. And when you are paid to speak, they don't really tend to like it when you use speaking as lead gen. Now, that having been said, anytime you speak, it should create lead gen. But it's different than speaking for free, where the event organizer will expect you to, generate leads from speaking. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that I don't think people think about a lot. When you're speaking, and you're speaking for free, let's say you speak to a room of 60 people, right? I want you to think about this. 10% is a really good close rate. Not good, sorry. 10% is an average close rate. Let's say you close 5% of the room, meaning you get them to be your clients. Now, let's say your signature service, whatever you sell, is $3,000. That's $9,000 for one speaking gig. Eric Swanson, baby, what's up, man? So good to see you. Thanks for tuning in, brother. And by the way, we'll talk, I guess, in honor of Eric. Eric, we got to set that call up, man. I don't want to let that slide, brother. I want to make sure we get that call on the books. All right, because you're an animal. You're an animal and I love you. So think about it this way, though. To get to the point where you're paid $9,000 to speak, it's going to take a lot of work. You get it? It's going to take time, hustle, energy. Nothing slides, greatness happens, my man. It's not going to be fast. However, get good at speaking, speak for free, speak to a room of 60 people and close 5% of the room, and you're a $9,000 speaker. Close 10% of the room, you're an $18,000 speaker. Get good, like Eric Swanson. Close 25% of the room. You've now made $45,000 off one talk. You get it? So for many of us, especially those of us who speak to position our coaching, going down the free gig path is powerful, potentially massively more lucrative. Dude, 33%. Let's break it down at the 33% in honor of Eric Swanson, my man. So let's say you get a room of 100 people, which is not uncommon, and you close 33% of the audience. That's 33 people. Now let's say that you're starting to see the math here. Let's say your signature program that you close them on is $3,000, which is not uncommon either. You just paid $99,000. You basically had a $100,000 speaking event. Do you see the power of taking the free gig path? This is what I want you to understand. You're going to get massive exposure from one key speaking engagement. And the thing I want you to understand is don't focus on the paid gigs yet. Maybe not at all. Hat Trick is the best. $9,000 speaker fee, 33% closing ratio, and 3 more gigs from referrals. Eric, let's dangle that in front of them, brother. But let's also let them know that even if they don't nail the hat trick, there's so much power in the free speaking gig, right? Potentially, that's what I want them to know. But yeah, that would be amazing. Of course, that would be basically like a $300,000 afternoon or evening for you. So. I'm loving it, dude. I'm loving your madcap energy, Eric. You are. I'm just going to give Eric a shameless plug here because we met last weekend at the Speaking Seriously conference. And, dude, so glad to meet you. So impressed by your personality, man. So yeah. You got everything that you got coming to you, everything that you've created, you deserve. So... connect with Eric Swanson, you guys. He's an amazing guy. Let's get back on the exposure piece here. So even if no one knows who you are, you can start getting the free speaking gigs. And you can do it by just rewinding this live stream and going back and paying attention to a little bit of what I've said already. And you can do it simply by prospecting. So would it be worth it to you to spend an hour a day systematically prospecting for speaking opportunities, knowing that a speaking opportunity... Oh, yes, good point. Eric says, best way to present yourself is that you are waiving your speaker fee instead of calling yourself free. Yeah, I gotta put a like on that one. I gotta put some love up on that one. That is right. That is a psychological positioning piece that is... really puts you in a stronger position. But understanding inside your own mind that you're prepared to speak without being paid to take the stage, right? Is that a good way to put it, Eric? You don't say, oh yeah, I'll speak for free. You say, I'll waive my speaking fee. But so then how do we get these free gigs? How do we start getting sort of into the world of taking those stages? Well, there are a lot of things you can do. On social media, you can let it be known that you'd like to share your expertise with people's audiences, that you will waive your speaker fee for the right opportunity, right? Eric says free gigs are everywhere, and he would know. So you let it be known that for the right opportunity, you're willing to waive your speaking fee. You see the strength in that positioning versus like jumping on Facebook and going, I'll speak for free. I'll speak for free. Instead, I'd like to train and add value to your audience. And if it's the right fit, I will waive my speaking fee. Doesn't that sound good? Doesn't it sound sexy? Doesn't it sound exciting? It does to me. And then, once you've waived your speaking fee and you take the stage, all you got to do is be really good. Tell a good story. Add a good piece of value. Eric adds that chambers, network groups, and associations, yeah, that's for real, man. They are right there. Christy, yes, desperation versus desire and expertise. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, don't get me excited. You know I'll cut loose. So what these guys are saying is so true, especially Eric. Free gigs are everywhere, you guys. You got to get in there and hustle and find them, but they're everywhere. Hey, Colin, either you're up really early or you're up really late, my friend. Colin's tuning in all the way from Australia, where it's got to be like 4 a.m. right now. I don't even know what time it is. But I want you guys to understand this. The exposure is there for you to take. But especially in the beginning, you're going to have to go and take it. Now, normally you know me to talk about your personal brand. And I want you to understand something about your personal brand as well, because it really relates to, I'm going to give myself some hearts here, self-love. Self-love on the internet right there. I self-love it. Once your personal brand momentum builds up, you don't have to prospect for gigs anymore. And I got to say, that's really nice too. Let's see what Eric's got. Bonus note, make sure you add into your speaking agreement that they will give you a great video testimony and also introduce you to 3 other referrals. Eric, you're bringing the value just even on this call, man. Joe says, I have had chambers say, we will let you speak as long as you pay and join the chamber. Thoughts? My thoughts are this, Joe. It's negotiable, and sometimes it's worth joining the chamber. Other times it's not. It's going to be different on each situation. Colin, that is really early. Marcus, welcome to the conversation. So I want you to understand that once you get your personal brand, you get the momentum under it, you won't have to prospect for speaking gigs anymore. I got to see what Eric, dude, you are awesome, man. I want to see what you say to that. But so in the meantime, as I wait for that next answer to pop up, I want to talk about the personal brand power, right? Once you raise your profile to the level that you're seen as an expert for what you do, you're going to start getting invited to speak. And I think Eric would back me up on that too, that getting invited to speak is the best of all. I mean, how much nicer would it be to not have to prospect, right? So how do you build your brand to the point where you're getting invited to speak? Well, it takes time. It takes a content strategy. It takes showing up. It takes following through. And it takes working connections. But I'm living proof that it works. Well, actually, last weekend I wasn't invited to speak. I was invited to judge, which to me was way more fun. It was so fun. But so that's the point, right? I got invited to judge the speaking competition last week where I met Eric. And and Melinda, and I got invited because my personal brand, because the awareness of me, who I am, what I do, what I'm about, what my skills are. And let's see. Christy says, digging for those nuggets is fun, but having them served on a silver platter is definitely the shit tacos. It is, except that shit tacos doesn't sound tasty, and this is very tasty. So, what have we covered here? Let's recap. We got a lot of conversation going, which is really cool, and it did sort of playfully throw me off of my topics a little bit, but that's okay because I'm a pro. So let's recap. We talked about some ways that you can start to build your awareness. We talked a little bit about how you prospect for speaking opportunities. We talked a little bit about the power of the free path in speaking versus the paid path. We talked a little bit about how the paid path is going to take longer to crack that market because it's so competitive. We also talked about needing to have a talk that's good enough that you would convert part of the room, right? Makes sense? So then Eric jumped in and gave us a lot of great tips and guidance on positioning. And then we talked about the power of your personal brand. We talked about the power of your personal brand to turn you, and I didn't express it like this until now, but to turn you from a tugboat who goes out and finds one opportunity and tugs it on home to a lighthouse. And a lighthouse, of course, shines in all directions and attracts everything to it. Does that make sense? Does that track for you guys? So really raising your awareness and your exposure is at the heart of it. It's becoming a lighthouse and stopping being a tugboat. Sorry, I got trapped by my own sentence structure there. But so raising your exposure is about the shift from tugboat to lighthouse. It's about the shift from one at a timing your business and your client acquisition and all of those things, and instead getting yourself and the awareness of you to a level that everyone comes to you, that people come to you. They're attracted to you because why? Because they know what you do, they know who you are personality-wise, and they know that you can help them, right? Really, really nice place to be. Really nice place to be, I gotta say. So I hope the recap was solid for you here. Gave you a lot of good ways to start getting exposure. Scaling equals fame, says Janica. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, at the higher levels, scaling is fame, especially when you're scaling your personal brand and you're not scaling a product or a service without a face and a personality attached to it. Awesome, you guys, awesome. I'm going to put the name of my group right there in the chat. I don't have the bit.ly link. I don't have it handy, but I want you guys to come and join my personal group where I talk about this stuff. I talk about money mindset. I talk about organic marketing. I talk about all manner. Actually, you know what the beauty of it is? I talk about whatever I want to talk about. And I teach, and I give away a lot of value. So let's see. Stephen, thank you very much, man. Yeah. By the way, guys, share this if you like it. That's the best thing you can do for me. So Eric says, use the feel, felt, found, but add your credibility by other chambers around the nation. So it goes like this. Thanks so much for bringing that up. I hear that a lot. And over the years, what we have found since I travel around the nation, speaking to chambers just like yours, I'm happy to donate my speaker fee and save you close to $5,000, while at the same time show your members how to increase membership by 30% each year. Did I send you the awesome testimonials by other huge chambers who have recently had me in? Let me send that your way. Joe, there is Eric's answer to your question about the standard sort of objection of chambers have of wanting you to sign up, become a member, and then speak. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, Eric. Fair and welcome to the conversation, my friend. Yes, guys, if you're not in already, come and join my personal Facebook group. And now, here's an interesting piece on personal branding. Some people are asking why I named it the Manny Wolfe group or Manny Wolfe's group. Because I'm the brand. That's why. I've had a group called the Personal Branding Accelerator. I've had a group called the 1,000 Speakers Academy. I've had different groups. Moving forward, everything is about me. And I don't mean that in an egotistical way. What I mean is, since I'm the brand, right, I want all the value that I give you to be associated directly to my name, my personal brand, my name. That's what I want to do. And that's why I named my current group Manny Wolfe's Group. Simple, clean. You don't have to guess, right? When you meet me or you see me or in some way you come across me and you like me, finding me is so easy. You Google me or search me on Facebook and boom, Manny Wolfe's Group pops up. Hallelujah. Guys, I'm jumping off right now. This has been awesome. Eric, thank you so much for all your participation. Robin Scott, great to see you. Joe Nicasio, Farron Young, thanks for joining in, man. Stephen E. Schmidt, I really appreciate that. Sharon Love, Janica, Christy, who else we got here? Doesn't want to let me scroll. Melinda, Colin, Marcus. Got a lot of good folks on here. A lot of people I really like. Brandy, Matt Gibbons. Yeah. Awesome, you guys. Let's go here to the new comment. Okay. Thank you so much. Come join the group if you're not in there already. I might make a special crazy offer for you guys if you're in the group. I'm thinking in honor of going to the event last week. Hey, Glenn, I'm thinking of offering my speaker training and my How to Get Booked to Speak programs combined together for a crazy discount because I'm feeling the love and I want to, and that's the beauty of being a personal brand. I can do whatever I want. All right, you guys, thank you so much. I'm going to flip the phone around now. It's going to get weird, and we are out of here.